I'm not keen on chocolates. If you put a chocolate there and an apple there, I go for the apple every time.
Can you say your name, please?
Helena, but they call me Leny. My next birthday, I'll be 90.
What month?
March.
90 in March next year.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think there were 7 altogether, but 2 died very young. So there was 5 of us left.
And where were you born?
In the Netherlands, between Germany and Belgium,
What was the town called?
a village,
A village. What was the name of the village?
Velden.
What was life like as a child growing up in Holland?
Well, I can't really, nothing much. Walk?
Was it a long walk or a short walk?
No, short walk. And at lunchtime you go home for your hot lunch and then you walk back to school. From 2 o'clock school started again. I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, but I wasn't allowed. My mother said I have to be a dressmaker.
Did you enjoy dressmaking?
I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. No, I didn't get that far. I couldn't read very well because I only found out when I was 70 years old that I got 1 short eye and 1 long eye, and therefore my reading wasn't so good. Hot meal?
Any particular hot meal?
Vegetables?
Favourite fruit?
Apple. 15. And then I came home like today, and then tomorrow my mother put me behind the bar. I was born in a hotel. Neil Diamond.
And favourite song?
Sweet Caroline. I got 3 children, 8 grandchildren, and 19 great-great-grandchildren. No, everything but is fruit I like. I'm not keen on chocolates. If you put a chocolate there and an apple there, I go for the apple every time.
Can you say your name, please?
George Bagley,
Where were you born, George?
Nottinghamshire, England,
What's your nationality?
English. 1 brother, 1 sister. Yes.
What was your favourite subject?
Oh, sport,
And your favourite sport?
soccer. I liked history.
What about art, music, painting?
No. Walked.
How long did it take you to get to school?
Oh, probably about 3/4 of an hour. That would be the history teacher.
Why is that?
Oh, she would communicated real good. Or anything really.
Favourite fruit?
Fruit, apples,
Favourite sweet or dessert?
pies. I'd definitely be Neil Diamond. My favourite song was Diana, but that was Paul Anka. I left school at 14 and went to work on the British Railways.
What was your job title?
Well, you just started as a cleaner, then you became a bus cleaner, which meant you could be a fireman, and then if you did about 300 turns, you could go for a driver.
So were you a driver?
No, never. I got the bus cleaner. Then I went down the coal mine.
When did you come to Australia?
1966.
And what work did you do in Australia?
I started with the ward board, doing the sewer lines. Then I went to a battery factory after that for 20 years. I've got 2 daughters, 3 great-grandchildren, grandkids, that's a bit hard. An handful of grandkids.
Wonderful.
Good morning, Greg.
Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome. Yes, my parents came from Scotland back in 1911, and I'm the youngest of 7. I have John, Jean and Alec, and then I have 2 deceased brothers, and then Arthur and I. I had 4 children, 14 grandchildren, and I have 30 great-grandchildren. I was born in Marrickville.
A local girl?
Yes. And as a kid, and I lived at Helston Park. With my mother in Scotland, she was a nurse girl, but as in these days, it's a nanny, and she lived at the big house in Scotland. I worked there, and my father, he was a poacher. He used to poach pheasants off the lads' land and bring them up to the big house where my mother was working, and he got caught, and he went to prison. He got tattooed on the arm, AB, and I think he did his time, and then he was told, get out of the country. Because they both came out in 1911. So, and he went to Brisbane before he came to Sydney, but I think he might have been chasing my mother.
Well, that worked out well.
Yes, and but I went to school at Helston Park Primary, and that was during the war, and we were still doing air raid drill until the end of the war. And then when I went to Canterbury Primary School, my teacher, Miss Rogers, was still coming to school in her army uniform. And then my mother and father decided to move to Glossodia. I don't know why, because my father wasn't a farmer, but my sister and her husband and my nieces lived up there. And then I met my husband at a younger set dance, and my brother used to take me, and he said, I'm going home now. And my husband, Bruce, his name was, said, that's all right, Arthur. He says, I will take her home, and the rest is history.
What age were you when you met Bruce?
17.
And how old was Bruce?
He was 3 years older than me, he was 20.
So it was that magic spark at first sight?
Yes, because he was watching me for a long, long time. As you see, I'm Scottish descent, and I suppose I am Australian. There's a lot of words I cannot pronounce. I know what a word is, but I don't know, because when I'm jumping the gun here, because when I moved, I joined Inner Wheel, which is very much like Rotary, and I became president, and when I had to write a report, I had to have a dictionary beside me. So it's just, and there was a lot of words my mother and that they could not, like Jats biscuits, they were always Jazz. But I had a wonderful childhood, and my dad, I think I was the apple of his eye, because he was 50 when I was born and Mum was 44. So I think I got spoilt. I left school at 14 because I hated it, and my father said, "You are not sitting at home, you will get a job." And he was working at Riverstone Meatworks. He should have been retired, but he was a cleaner down there, and he got me a job down there, and I worked in the packing house, and then I got up into the preserver and I was put on a machine where they used to put the tins through, and they used to go down a chute to the packing house.
Why didn't you like school?
I don't know, because I had to I call it first form. I had to repeat. I don't know why, I just didn't like school. The only subjects I liked were sports and geography. It was travelling and sports. I used to love sports. Exercise, and playing different, and school, when I went to school at Glossadia, because that was a one-teacher school, and we used to play rounders, and we used to play just with a stick. And of course then when I went to Richmond School, I was on a volley hockey team, and we loved it when the teacher was on the other team so we could hit her in the shins. And then I did I did cooking, and I liked that. But then when I left school and I was working, and after I got married I had different jobs, I wished I'd done clerical work so I could have done shorthand and typing. I love reading. I read a lot now. And writing, I used to be a lovely writer, and now my hands, they don't work and they don't write as good.
So you could read and write very well, it's just with the pronunciation of
different words
and the spelling of words that your brain worked a different way.
That's right. I used to love dolls. My mother made them. And food, I like it. Most foods, a lot of foods I don't like, but my mother was a good cook.
Your favourite meal as a child?
I baked dinner.
Favourite dessert?
Probably apple crumble, or at Christmas time, good plum. Mum made nice Christmas puddings and custard. Well, I rode a bike to school.
How long did that take?
I suppose we had to ride a couple of miles or so or more. And then on the way to school, if we didn't have any fruit, we used to go jump through the fence and pinch oranges.
What was your favourite lolly or ice cream?
Well, when I at Helston Park, when I had to help, if I'd helped Dad in the garden, he would give me sixpence, threepence for when I could go to the pictures, threepence for an ice cream, and threepence to get in.
What flavour ice cream?
Any. I still like it today. I went to Sunday school, and we used to get dressed up for Harvest Festival and all that. And and of course, my father was a shift worker, so therefore I used to have to go to other people's places to play. And I had 2 good girlfriends, or 3, and I just enjoy, playing with somebody, climbing trees, like we all do. And another thing, on a Sunday, we weren't allowed to play cards, do sewing, knitting, and Mum, she did all correspondence that day, but kids were allowed to do Charlie Chuckles in the Telegraph. That's not anymore. That's gone back to the late. Well, we left Helston Park in 48, so it's going back before then.
What's Charlie Chuckles?
It was like the puzzles they have in the Sunday Telegraph now, and it was Charlie, and you sent them in, and you would get if you would write or something, you used to get like a little certificate thing, little card, you know. We mostly went to Manly, and we went swimming. And my parents never went swimming because I don't think they knew how. And we always had to take the teapot, and of course it was my job to go across to the shop to get the hot water. And that, but mainly it was, and then Sundays, it was Sunday school in the morning and Christian Endeavour in the afternoon. I started off at Helston Park Infant School, which, by the way, we were doing air raid drill. The kids today wouldn't know what that was. And then I went up to Canterbury Primary School, and then we moved up to Grossadia, and I went to the one teacher school. And then after I did 6th class, I went to Richmond Rural School. Mum packed it. She was made probably fruitcake and a sandwich, and then on a Monday, because no fresh bread, she'd make a damper, and we'd have damper sandwiches.
What did you put on the sandwich?
Mainly egg, scrambled like egg, or baked beans. Hobbies was I like drawing, colouring in, and reading. And of course, in them days, no television, and I learnt to do fancy work, and my mother taught me knitting.
As a teenager, what were your favourite hobbies or games?
About the same. But when we moved to Glossalia, I had a push bike, and I used to ride to school. And then, of course, there was no church nearby, so I used to go to the Salvation Army. And then when I turned 15, I was like a teacher and taught the kids with the felt. And as I was telling them the story, I put whatever it was on the felt, and that told the story with the pictures. As I say, I was at the meatworks, and I was just, I suppose you would call it process job, because we used to do the little cans up in the preserver, little cans for the show bags in them days, and then we used to do ox tongues to be sent overseas.
Did you ever eat ox tongue?
No, but I used to eat sheep's tongues. I liked them.
How were they cooked?
Well, Mum used to cook them at home. You just put them in pots, in a pot of water, and cook them on the stove. I think you put salt and some other herbs, and that. It's getting too long.
What did you have with the sheep's tongue?
Well, mainly you had them cold, and you cut them, and you could have them on sandwich or have them with salad.
I might get the students to try sheep's tongue.
Oh, and lamb's fry and bacon, and sheep's brains. And they've got to be crumbed.
Did you enjoy the sheep's brains?
I did when I married. I did them in crumbs, but my mother used to cook them in white sauce. And my mother used to cook tripe. And because my elder brother lived at Belmore, I should say, and he used to come in every Friday night, and every Friday night we'd have tripe for tea. And I ate it under suffering. I have.
To where?
When I tell my grandkids and that, if you've got to have a dream. I had 2 dreams from when I was a little kid. One, to go to Canada. That's where all my cousins, my aunties and uncles were. and wanted to go to Scotland. And I've done them both. I've been to Scotland 3 times, and I went about 7 years every year to Canada because this was my last wish from my husband. I had to do the travelling that I wanted to do, and I think I've been on about 21 cruises.
Amazing. Your favourite cruise destination?
Vanuatu. I love the people there. Here I do my puzzles. I've got drawers full of puzzles, and I go to gentle exercises every day and then gym twice a week. That's where I was today, and then any like bingo, any activity I can go, I will go to it.
At gym, what's your favourite exercise or thing to do?
Well, they're all good because they've given me back my legs, but when I've been to the gym and come back here, I know I've got a pair. So, but I enjoy it so much. Besides my pipes, and I love just soft music. Not the music of today, it's boom, boom, boom. The 40s, the 50s, and the 60s.
So ballroom,
yes,
tangos,
yeah.
waltzes, classical music?
Yes, I do like a bit of classical.
Jazz?
Yes.
Blues?
Yes, because my husband was a drummer in a dance band. I like them all, actually. There's no one that, you know, sometimes it comes on the radio and I'll sing along with them, and I know it's sort of a hymn, but I like Amazing Grace. And Bill Haley's numbers, or Elvis Presley. They're nice, and John Denver.
Yeah. Neil Diamond?
Yes.
Shirley Bassey?
Silk, Sweet Caroline. And not so much Shirley Bassey, but I've been to the old Tin Shed, the old stadium in Sydney, and I've seen Louis Armstrong, the Platters, Johnny Ray, and Pegley Pete. I forget what the others.